Hi Elizabeth and everybody associated with the AAP show. This is Mike Korsak. I just did a little video about unpacking and hanging my wall cabinet Echo. So I made a little crate for it. The top is secured to the crate with a couple screws. They're a number 2 square drive bit. If you don't have one, I'll bring one with me to the drop-off today. The crate is labeled with the orientation. I would, when you're unpacking, I'd set it on a flat surface with the top up or this end up. So I've already removed the screws. I'm going to take the top off, set it aside. So when you open it, you'll see that there's some blue foam in here, and I've got these pieces on the top and bottom of the crate are labeled remove first. So you'll pull them out first. I'll start with the one closest to me. And then with that first piece of foam removed, you can kind of grab the case by the bottom. It's sort of hard, you can't see in here, so it's sort of hard to describe. But there's doors, and I would stay away from touching the doors just because I don't want to put any stress on the hinges. So just with 2 fingers, I'm going to just slide the cabinet to me a little bit so that I can pull this piece out without rubbing against the top of the cabinet. So they're out, so I'm going to turn it sideways, and it's sort of a pain, but I'm just going to slip 2 hands in, grab the case by the top and bottom, and lift it out. As far as hanging, on the back, there's a 2-piece cleat, so you can remove the blue tape to free this piece of the cleat. I'm going to set this back down on something protective. So the two-piece cleat, it's got a bevel cut on it. It's called a French cleat. This is the part that goes on the wall. It's clearly marked with an up orientation, and the writing on this face tells you that this face is out as opposed to this face going in against the wall. So I've got countersinks for 3 screws. They're size number 6. I would use steel screws as opposed to drywall screws or brass screws. You guys are pros at hanging stuff. Just make sure that the screws get attachment into something solid, something wood, as opposed to just screwing them into drywall. So once this is screwed to the wall, the cabinet just sort of gets slid down over top. Slid down from the top onto the cleat, and that should do it. That's all I've allowed for as far as hanging. Okay, back again. When it's time for this to come home, I might as well go over repacking. So there's. Let's slip that over. Okay, I'm gonna just talk for a second about repacking it. Just to, you know. Okay, back again. I'm just going to talk for a second about repacking, just in case you forgot in the interim between unpacking and packing. So these two, these 2 small pieces of blue foam go on the sides, and they go in first, and you just want to sort of center them on the sides. And this is the orientation that they go into the case or the crate, not this way. They want to be oriented this way. So they go in first. I'm going to center them. And I'm going to turn the crate, because this is where I have to do that sort of awkward lift in. And as far as the cleat, you can just put the wall cleat back onto the back of the cabinet, secured with blue tape or something. Or, yeah, that's probably the safest place for it. So to go back in, just going to be careful that I don't hit the sides or corners on anything. I'm going to slide it in between it's an awful sound. Okay, slid it home. Now I've got the 2 big pieces of blue foam. Just going to slide the first one in, then I'm going to shift the cabinet up against it. Second one goes in, and if you didn't align your first two pieces of blue foam correctly like I did here, you just might have to shift one to allow the side or the top and bottom pieces to slide down. Okay, he's in. Then the lid goes back on, and I think I mentioned it earlier, there is, well, I mentioned the orientation of the crate, but there's also marks here to tell you where the top goes relative to the crate, so you don't try to spin it when you put it on. So, got these marks aligned, I'll just put the top on, and then just screw it home with the number 2 square drive. And that's it. Thanks. Hi, I forgot to mention one thing. When you're unpacking to hang for the show, when you pull the cabinet out of the crate, if you open the doors, you'll see that there's some blue tape inside holding those 3 little tiny drawers from sliding out. You can just leave that blue tape on until you have the cabinet actually hung on the wall, and then you can pull the blue tape. And when you repack, if you could sort of repeat that process with the blue tape, it would be great, just to keep those drawers from sliding around in there. Okay, that's it for real this time. Thanks.